If you're starting up a small business or becoming a freelancer, one of the key decisions you're going to need to make is how you're going to keep your records. As business accountants, my team and I work with startups every day. So let me share with you some things that work for our clients, and maybe one of them will work for you. So the first decision to make is how digital you want to go. Previously, digital or not would have been a choice, but with the new Making Tax Digital for Income Tax rules coming from HMRC in April 26, this is no longer really an option. Now, under the new scheme, there's a need for quarterly digital reporting along with a final digital tax return at the year end. And you're going to need some software to do that in because there's no free HMRC tool. And I am talking about self-employment here, not limited companies. If you're a limited company, you're not going to need to worry about the new Making Tax Digital part for income tax, but the rest of this video is still going to be relevant. So with that in mind, you've got a couple of options. Option A being just do it in a spreadsheet. Under the new rules, this still works, but you're likely going to need a plugin to send the data to HMRC every quarter. The industry term for this is what we call bridging software. But if your records are really just a few invoices a year, say you just do one invoice as a bit of freelance work every year, you've got a handful of expenses because most of it's you, this is still going to work and it's still very low cost, very low hassle. So that is absolutely still on the table as a way of working. Now, option B is an accounting software app. Now, the first thing to highlight here is that not all apps are made equally. So for example, you've got some bank apps where you can log income and expenditure, and many of those are building a way to transmit these quarterly returns, but they might not do the final year submission. At the time of recording this video, much of this is unknown. And at the other end of the scale, you've got some apps that will provide all sorts of features, including some key reporting, and they'll be able to handle those year-end reports. Now, I think for me, if you've got a small business you want to grow, it's kind of a serious business in terms of you're taking it seriously, you want it to be a thing, then I think you're just better off biting the bullet and getting into the real accounting softwares. Something like a Xero or a QuickBooks. If you've seen the adverts, you know the type of thing I'm talking about. Now, the key thing is they're going to do all the transmission of the stuff to HMRC. They're also full of reports and other cool features that you're going to want to access to keep on top of your business finances as you grow. And I think that even if you don't want to grow, if you've got a business that's got a lot of transactions, you can just streamline your bookkeeping process by the various tools that are inside there. There's things like the technology will learn what you normally categorize something as and suggest it next time. A whole host of stuff that you can do that just speeds things along. And they also have this whole ecosystem of different apps that could plug into it. So for example, if you sell on Amazon or Etsy, there's an app that will just pull in your transactions from there. And it'll also deal with the fees that you're getting deducted before the amount arrives in your bank. Just makes the whole thing far easier. Like all things that are new, they're going to take a bit of time to get used to and learn, but the long-term payoff will be worth it. So the action for now is just take some free trials, have a play and see what works for you.